Hi there. A nice summer's day to look at a sixth line. Today we are looking at gate 27, line 6, and it's called Wariness. This is a kind of classic keynote for the sixth line. It's something Ra said that fits exactly for them. It's correct, it's perfect, it just sums up that sixth line process. What it is to be a sixth line is to be wary. It's a wariness that comes out of experience, after all. And that's the most important thing to realize when you look at six lines, any six lines, but here we've got the one that's bumped into caring all through its life. It's had that trial and error process. It's been through the greed, it's been through all of that, and it's seen it. It's been burned, and as a result, it's wary. This is someone who has learned that caring can cause a lot of difficulties, and actually they'd rather not care, really. There's a lifetime learning here, and it says that a protection against an abuse of generosity. It's seen the result of selfishness, it's seen the result of greed, and it's not getting involved anymore. But the wariness is the wisdom that comes out of learning all of this through a period of time. Lifetime learning, remember, it's not something that the sixth line is born with. They don't understand wariness as a concept when they come into the world. It's just something they learn as they bump in and then assimilate through their process of going up on the roof. The exaltation says a practical and realistic approach to nurturing whose appropriateness is guided by feelings and instinct. The power and strength to be realistic in one's capacity to care and nurture. So the sixth line, remember, it's sitting on the top of its hexagram and it's tapping into the integrity of the whole, and especially that fifth line. Can that fifth line really deliver on its potential? This is part of the job of the sixth line. When somebody comes to them, their gift is, when this person says, can that executor, remember the name of the fifth line here, can that executor be trusted? The sixth line has the wisdom to say yes or no, has the authority to say yes or no, because they are aware through their process and through sitting up there and witnessing the whole thing. They can see who gives too much, who doesn't give enough, who is not correct in their approach to caring. And in the detriment, we've got a tendency to over-suspiciousness, the power of suspicion in limiting the expression of caring. So this is the extreme side of being burned as a caring being. They move into a place where they're just endlessly suspicious. It's that wariness tipped over the edge, just gone a little bit too far. Being suspicious, so it's their nature. It doesn't mean that they can't share or that they won't share or that they never share, that they can't be caring or cared for. But it's actually the sixth line in their process of questioning trust, which is something else a sixth line does. It's that constant questioning of can I trust this hexagram? In this particular case, it's can I trust the caring here? Can I trust any caring that I receive? Does caring actually have any value? Remember, we're looking at the gate of values here at the other end of the channel. Will caring enhance my quality of life? Because the sixth line wants to know what's in it for them. And this is part of their process too. So they are looking at the 50, which is the gate of values, at the other end of that channel there that's in the splenic center, which is an awareness center, remember. And what they're looking for is the awareness to confirm the value of caring. To establish in law that if we do care, it's going to be productive. There will be a good reason for it. Ra tells us that the moment you get to a sixth line, no matter where it is, the question comes up, shall I really commit to this? Is this really worthwhile? Can I trust this process? Will it take me where I want to go? He said it doesn't matter which sixth line you're looking at, any of the gates, it's always the same. So whenever you see 6 lines, he says, do not jump to conclusions about that 6th line actually expressing its true nature, because it may never do that. Not unless there's really something there that it can tap into and know that it can trust. And then maybe it will come down off the roof. Then maybe we will get its wisdom. And the 28-6 is called Blaze of Glory. There's a lifetime learning here, which is sacrifice rather than capitulation to the law of deterioration. An individual gate, remember here, and all those individual gates have the potential for melancholy, and melancholy can lead to pain when there is no clarity around what is worth living for. The 6th line, it goes up on the hill, it doesn't want to play the games anymore. This is the gate of the game player. It doesn't want to take any more risks. It's done with all of that. It's really wanting to know what it is about life that is of value, that is worth getting involved with, or worth getting up in the morning almost, Imagine that you have a life of caring, but caring really has no particular value for you. Well, there could be a deep pain here, because this is how your life is expressing, this is what you're bringing to the world, but it doesn't really mean anything to you. That can bring a deep melancholy or deep depression. Likewise, maybe if what makes you sing, what makes your heart expand is caring, that's really what you find worthwhile in life. And yet you've got nobody or anything to care for. This can also bring a deep sense of loss, of melancholy, of depression. So I guess it's a strategy and authority thing. I haven't said that for a while, I don't think. Strategy and authority. Because then that is what's going to protect us. And that is what is going to lead us into the experience that is correct for us. Venus goes into gate 3 at 13:55 today. Venus establishing our values, which we've just been talking about with gate 50. And Venus also affects how we interact with others and how we relate with others. What do we deem to be valuable in our relationships? And in this gate 3, we have difficulty at the beginning. It was our last sun gate, so we're maybe a bit familiar with that now. This mutative gate that comes with a lot of confusion because it's constantly in that flux, in that change. It's the individual gate operating in a pulse, it's there, it's not. Confusion is there, confusion is transcended, a mutation is there, then it's not. It can be a really difficult gate. It's in the sacral center, so it can carry a lot of frustration with it. It operates on its own timing. All of these things are quite interesting to play with. And when Venus is here, you could say, well, does any of this have any value for me? Is that really something that is worth the cost? Is the gift that I'm finding here worth the cost of it? These are the sort of questions that Venus can bring to our attention. So the moon is still in gate 34, but moves into gate 9 at 13:31. Okay, so we're traveling through a few of the sacral gates here with the moon right now, and gate 9 is the gate of focus. So this is bringing the focus of the moon is coming into the gate of focus. And this is where potential can be fulfilled through detailed attention to all pertinent aspects. There can be a determination to focus on what is essential for one's own process. It's a logical gate. It's looking at experimentation here. Experimenting with what is good to focus on, or what isn't good to focus on. What are you bringing into focus today? Is there something that you need to focus on particularly today? And the next sacral gate, gate 5, is at 7 minutes past midnight. And this is the gate of waiting, the gate of fixed patterns. It's a focus on natural rhythm here. It's something we each have our own natural rhythm. Particularly if you've got this gate 5 in your design all the time. Otherwise, it's an inconsistent thing. Where are our habits? Where is it that we need to slip into our own natural rhythm? It's a gate that very easily can be conditioned out of its natural habitat, its natural expression, when other people want you to work on their rhythm. And we're in a very conditioned world when it comes to rhythms. You know, we tend to get up at a certain time, have the same thing for breakfast, get on the same train, go to the same office, have the same conversations. Are these the right rhythms, the right habits to be stuck in or to be part of? Maybe not stuck in, that's a little bit judgmental, sorry about that. So this is what the moon brings us, the focus on that. What habits that we've slipped into are correct for us? Or are we doing them just because they're habits? Not that there's anything wrong with any of that, but well, it's worth looking at, isn't it? Do we honour our own natural rhythms? Tomorrow we move into a new gate. We have gate 24. So we're going up to the Ajna, and this is the gate of rationalising. And I will see you then, and until then, as always, go gently.